All right, Ian. We are at stage 4, second week here at Angelstone. Team event coming up. Friday night this week. We actually go this week Thursday night, 150, Friday night team, and Saturday night Grand Prix. The reason we do that here is because nighttime at Angelstone is quite special, and we're excited to have it back. 8 teams again, like every week. A little bit of a different field for a number of teams. So let's start off this week. Your daughter's team, the winning team from week 1, Eye Candy. They're riding the same 3 again. They're not switching it up. Why change what's working? What are your thoughts?
Well, they really understand this format very well. This is their 4th time together, and talk about a team and their synergy with those 3 riders. I have to say, I think they're unstoppable.
Speaking of powerhouses, as we were just talking, Lucky Charms. They've been once the winner, Eye Candy twice. They're right on the heels. We've got quite a rivalry, actually, between Eye Candy and Lucky Charms. This week, Jordan Coyle, Shane Sweetnam, Andrew Bournes. They're stacking the deck. You know, they don't have Margie in, but I'd say they're throwing everything at it.
They are going to give Eye Candy a serious run for their money. I think that is going to be a rivalry beyond words. I would predict it'll come down to that jump off with the 2 riders, Paul O'Shea and Shane Sweetnam, and it's just going to be who can go the fastest and leave the jumps up.
It would be interesting to see if the Lucky Charms save Shane for round 3, or if they save Jordan for round 3.
And either one would be deadly, and it'll probably just depend how the horses are jumping on the night and everything else, but either one would be extremely deadly.
And one of their probably biggest competitors would be this week AIM United. We've had a substitution this week, actually. Brian Goutal's horse was in and out of the clinic last week and is not able to compete this week. So Daniel Blumen has subbed in under the substitution rule, and he will be competing on AIM United with Ashley Bond, who's fresh back from Tokyo,
Yep.
and Catherine Tyree.
And they could be the dark horse of the whole thing, and for sure our sympathies go out to Brianna. Hopefully her horse is just fine. But having Daniel Blumen in there, the winner of the Grand Prix and the co-winner of our first open welcome class here last week, he's beautifully mounted. He's a sensational rider, and as you say, actually, that is an extremely strong team.
Now, last week's sort of maybe surprise or overachiever would have been the Crusaders. Peter Leone, Molly Ash, and Matt Cohn last week. This week they swap Molly Ash for Sean Cassidy. Again, unfortunately, Alexander Volpe is not able to attend due to entry rules to Canada, which have been somewhat difficult. So Matt Cohn will again get the tap to sub in for the Crusaders. Crusaders, can they do it again? Can they make round 2 again?
I think they can. Mac, of course, I've ridden on so many teams with Mac, and I really am partial to him. Peter I've known forever, and he is a wonderful competitor. And I love that chestnut horse he rode last week. It's fast, it's careful, and he knows what he's doing, and it'll all come down to their 3rd rider.
Roadrunners. Last week, they were actually one of our favorites. We had McLean, Adrian, and Caitlin. And actually, Caitlin ended up being the strongest of the 3. This week, Caitlin remains, and we have Christian Heineking, and we've also got Ali Ramsey stepping in on the Roadrunners. Thoughts on the Roadrunners?
I would have to call them a little bit of a long shot for the 2nd round. Again, fine riders all, but these other teams are that strong.
Blazing Sevens. They had some trouble last week. Nicolette Hurt led it off. She had an uncharacteristic round. I know she's back this week. She's riding a different horse. The horse actually jumped fantastic in the Grand Prix last week. So I think they're coming much stronger. So we have Nicolette Hurt, Chandler Meadows, and Lauren Huff.
And so often when a rider has a bad experience, they come back, and that's when they're really dangerous because they just want to make it up so badly they can't stand it. So that young lady may come out and just lead the pack for us in the team competition. I wouldn't count them out getting into the 2nd round.
Now another quite strong team. They ended up not making the cut last week, but quite a strong group is the Diamond Devils. This week we go Bliss Heers, Kristen Vanderveen, and young Sam Walker.
That should be, on paper, that should be a heck of a team, and I would be highly suspicious if they're second round material.
And last but not least, because they were the best in round 1 last week, the Otomi Warriors. They're running the same team, Daniel Rehan Jr., John Perez, Nicholas Pizarro. They posted a 0 last week in round 1. Maybe a little unlucky in the jump off, but they've been kind of climbing up the leaderboard the last few weeks.
And I suggested last week they would not get to the second round, and sure enough they did, and they ended up an extremely respectable 4th. They proved something last week, and so again, we cannot count them out.
So, final thoughts here. Who are you taking?
Well, you know who I'm taking. I got to go with Eye Candy.
All right, I'm gonna have to take the Lucky Charms this week. I think we're down for another Eye Candy Lucky Charms duo.
But what we do know is we are down for an extraordinary, nail-biting, right down to the wire competition with Major League show jumping at Angelstone.